Good evening, ma'am. Good evening, sir. Thank you, sir.
You're from Gorakhpur?
Yes, sir.
Huh?
Yes, sir.
From which place do you reside in Gorakhpur?
So, Betihata.
Near the Hanuman Mandir?
Yes, sir.
So, first house belonged to me. I used to stay in the first number 1 house. It's a long time ago. When you go back to Gorakhpur and you ask your father, grandfather, Mr. Badal Chatterjee, they will be able to tell you. And you studied in Little Flower. Father John was the principal there, or Father Jose was the principal?
So, Father John.
The bearded man.
Yes, sir.
He's in Kenya these days.
Okay, sir.
I'm in link. I'm already in link with him. Very good. So you did your computer science after intermediate, or you did your graduation course also somewhere?
So, graduation in BTech, sir. Computer science engineering.
So why are you coming to state executive service? Computer, you could have given some more. अब तो हिंदी में इंटरव्यू लेंगे ना?
Yes.
हिंदी में तो DPS अंग्रेजी में बोलना चाहिए आपको.
सर इंग्लिश भी बोल सकते हैं.
अच्छा तो क्यों हिंदी में क्यों बोल रहे हैं?
I can talk in English as well.
मेंस इंग्लिश में लिखा है?
Yes, sir.
अच्छा इंटरव्यू हिंदी में लिखा है?
सर इंग्लिश ही हमने मतलब.
अच्छा you written English only. अच्छा okay.
अच्छा you are appearing in English?
Yes, sir.
Okay, very
In
good.
interview also?
Yes, sir.
That is why I was thinking. So you could have contributed more to the society by pursuing computer and other things. Here, all your education, everything will come to almost it will be nullified like anything.
Sir, I think that education can't be nullified.
No, your computer, the thing which you are studying, which you had studied, computer would have taken you to the technology side, and you could have contributed to society in a much better manner. Here, if you leave this, you become district manager or SDM, whatever it be. Here, the computer is a small cell, and that a person is there, some officer is there who will come with the figure, fact and figure, and your whatever you have studied, that will not bear any fruit here.
Sir, I think, I chose civil services mainly because it provides me a platform to serve people, along with it gives me an authority to serve people through my through my work.
That is true, but what will computer help? How will computer help you?
Sir, we need computer science people with knowledge of computer science in administration as well.
But there you have a host number of people who will be able to assist you. But the SDM doesn't have time to browse the mouse and other things.
Definitely, sir.
They will be having people, your computer cell is there, other people use that, so you have to give them an order, do this, and they will bring it before you.
Definitely, sir, with computer science.
People of your knowledge are sitting there.
Yes, sir, definitely, sir.
So this is the general administration, no? That is a specific administration.
Definitely, sir. But with a knowledge of computer science engineering, I would be able to understand their work as well, their problems, and I would be able to better understand the e-governance system in the.
That is true, but in a human factor, when you interact with human beings, then computer doesn't help much.
Definitely.
Human factor is something else. It is connected with emotions, with rationalism, many other things. Computer has a certain limit. Beyond that, computer cannot go.
So that's the reason why I want to join public services, sir.
You could have studied political science, history, literature. That would have made you a better administrator.
Definitely, sir. Some decisions in life are not always taken by in long-term thought process.
Okay, very nice. And what subjects you have chosen in sociology? Okay. Why so many people are committing suicide these days? Young people, they are undergoing coachings and trainings, sitting in the civil services. How will you, when you become SDM or become a DM later on, how will you handle these people, those who are committing suicide?
Sir, I think the cause of suicide these days are basically the stress amount is very high in the society, especially with the students. They undergo a lot of pressure for academic reasons, and nowadays extracurricular pressure as well. from parents, from teachers. We need to reduce this stress. As an SDM, what I can do is through the education department in the district, in my magistrate, I would ask the officers to reach to the schools and meet the principals and explain them to reduce the stress of the students through various means.
But the stress is always there. Getting a first division and then getting an employment, and how will you identify the person who is under depression? First and foremost, you have to identify the person who is under depression, because the person who is under depression, he only commits suicide. Yes, how will you pinpoint? Because you don't even know. The children will say that, sir, yesterday we were sitting and having tea together. Later on, he went home, and after within 2 hours, he committed suicide.
So for this, we need to have a better conversation with the parents. Parents need to change their thought process. They need to be more open for discussion with their children. They must understand the psyche of the children as well.
Okay. When you come across you become the SDM and you come across some, say, forces, unruly people who are out to create trouble, and they assemble in large numbers, and there is a mob psychology. You must have studied in sociology also. So how will you handle that mob psychology? What the factors? How will you diffuse those factors?
Sir, I think every mob is mostly driven by a leader or a head who collects them and mobilizes them. So I would try to find out the head and try to understand the situation, why and the cause for their protest and the mob mobilization, and try to diffuse that.
And sometimes the sudden eruptions take place. Then what will you do? You will not even find a neta. Everyone is a neta there. Everyone is a leader.
Sir, in extreme situations, we need to take extreme steps.
Recently, do you play any game also?
No, sir.
No, you haven't played anything in your school time or school days?
So as a child, sir, I used to play.
You did not have much interest in sports. What is your hobby then?
Sir, I like to travel. I like traveling, but because of academic reasons, I haven't been able to develop it too much.
Mm-hmm. But even if when you join this service, then that travel also will, your ambition, you will not be able to fulfill your ambition of traveling, because you will be confined to a district, you will not get any leave.
Sir, I would try to make a balance between my work life and personal life.
What is your idea about the finances of the country at present? How is the financial aspect of the country taking place?
So I think currently the nation is growing at a fast pace, but we need to understand that this pace should not leave the marginalized section of the society as well. We need to ensure that development and growth must be inclusive in the country.
But what do you think that the real growth is taking place? Because the poor and the marginal, they are still hand to mouth, and because of the subsidy and other things, they are able to just carry on their lives. And the real growth is taking at a higher level. Those who are well-to-do, there only the growth is taking place, and at lower level, we are talking about the all-inclusive aspect. It is becoming an exclusive one. Only the higher people, the lower people are not growing. And because of the various factors, subsidies and other things, they are able to just carry on their lives. Manrega, many other things, the free food and other things. Because they say that 20 crore of population of people are not ready to work. They don't want to work. They say they want to sit idle. I was just going through an article, and there it was written, maybe not very correct, or not very true, but it was written that unemployment rate is very high and 20 crore of people, they are not ready to work. They just want to sit idle in their home.
Sir, I think definitely the growth that is happening might be not very inclusive in the society, but as society grows and as a country develops, definitely the lower section as well would come up. We need to work on the basics such as education, health sector. We need to improve them for the lower section of the society to become inclusive in the growth trajectory of the
Don't you
country.
think there is a wide gap between the rich and the poor?
Definitely, sir. The country is still in the phase of development, and there is wide gap in between rich and the poor. We need to work on that.
You appear to be satisfied with the pace of the growth of the country, but unless the pattern of the growth is good, the pace loses its significance, right?
Yes.
And how do you look at that? Pattern of growth in India.
Sir, the pattern, sir, we are moving towards an inclusive society. It is not as if the lower section is not progressing in its aspects, but there are still lacunas in there are still gap between the rich and poor, a wider gap that we need to work upon.
Do you think that that has become, or that is because of the reason that despite the fact that we have written the word socialist in our constitution, we have moved towards capitalist tendencies?
Sir, India is still a socialist. India is still a mixed economy. We can't call it socialist economy. And being written in the constitution, socialism does not stop us from moving towards a capitalism economy.
That would be unconstitutional.
Yes, sir, definitely. And I don't believe that Indian economy is moving towards capitalism. We still provide basic resources and basic education.
But we are heavily privatizing the sectors,
Yes, sir.
and most of them we have privatized by 100%.
Yes, sir. Sometimes society needs certain major steps for betterment of the economy, and privatization is one of them.
Okay. As a student of sociology,
Yes.
There is a statement by Max Weber that every social action has a meaning. Must have read?
Yes, sir.
From where that meaning comes from?
So Max Weber says that every social action has a motive and a meaning behind it. Every man has a certain way of thinking, and every society has a certain way
So
of
from where that meaning or motive comes?
So from the common sense that we develop through our life, it comes from the cultural background of a person, from the social background of the person.
What kind of rapid changes do you see in India's culture? In the era of market economy especially.
So positive and negative both kind of changes I can see. So positive changes like we are becoming more equalitarian society. Women are more coming out from their homes, working in different sectors.
They are getting more exposed to crimes.
So definitely when things will change, there would be certain problems initially. We need to work upon the problems, not stop women from coming out of the homes. We need to work upon the crimes, not stopping women from coming out of their homes. And negative changes that I can see is that there is an increasing individualization in the society. People are becoming more individualistic, materialistic, and a sense of false needs is desiring in the society.
When we made our constitution, we did claim that we would practice cooperative federalism in India. But considering the disputes and divergent opinions among states and the union also, how do you see the future of cooperative federalism?
Sir, cooperative federalism is definitely the basic tenet of Indian constitution and the working of Indian society in Indian administration. And there might be issues between center and state governments, but it does not mean that center government or state government is not cooperating with each other. Seeing the progress of the country, we can definitely say that state and center are working together. when there might be situations and circumstances when there may be conflicts between the two
Don't
administrations.
you feel that this is leading more towards regionalistic feelings?
Sir, there will be so yes, sir, definitely there can be. We can say that things are moving towards one direction, and there are also people who say that it is more moving towards central is more trying to control everything. So there will always be two view of every situation.
Okay, so tell me something about yourself, like your hobbies, from where do you belong, and everything. I would like to know more about you.
Ma'am, I belong from Sohgora, Gorakhpur, and I did my 10th from Gorakhpur itself. Thereafter, I did my 12th and graduation from Noida in computer science engineering. And I like to travel, though I haven't been able to develop it.
Why? What is the reason?
Ma'am, academic reasons are the major reason.
Okay, so if, do you think that if you just involve in this, so you are not able to concentrate on your study?
Definitely, if the civil services is a competitive exam, there is a race with each other. Everybody is competing with each other. So every moment of every second is precious in this exam.
So as your subject is sociology, so don't you think it will be helpful for you once you are just go travel to city by cities or everywhere? So it will be more helpful for you to elaborate, to understand about each and every culture, don't you think?
Definitely, ma'am. Traveling is a major, easiest way to understand the society, and studying sociology helps us to understand it through book view. And traveling through every culture and society, definitely it would help me to understand it better.
Okay, so can you tell me, that means the father of sociology, from which city he just belonged, from which country, sorry?
Ma'am, the father of sociology was Auguste Comte.
Yeah, so from which country he belonged?
I am not sure, if you allow me to guess.
Okay, so from America? Yeah.
No, ma'am, I think he is from France.
Sure?
I'm not sure.
Okay, just make it sure. I think it's from America. So what do you understand by the socio word, and from which word it's belong? From which language?
Socio is a Greek word, which means society.
Society. Can you elaborate more? Society means what? What do you understand by society?
Society, the concept of society is a cultural, ethical, a cultural state. I would say society is a cultural state driven by its people.
Okay, we always listen that man is that means peoples are governed by society. Men are governed by society. What can you tell me? That means how much it means true for us, or like, do you think that we should belong to society, or we just go through according to it?
Man is governed by society. I would say it means that every one of us is governed by a certain ethos and values that our society gives us since our childhood. And I believe that every society has certain ethos, and a person, citizen from every society, the reason why everyone is different in every society is because of its cultural ethos.
Okay. Recently, our respected Prime Minister has inaugurated a statue. Its name is Prosperity. That means Statue of Prosperity. Can you tell me in which country he has inaugurated this?
Sorry, ma'am, I'm not able to recall it.
Okay, Bangalore. I would like to know, that means, do you think that globalization is affecting our culture more?
Definitely, globalization is impacting the culture both positively and negatively.
Can you tell how?
Positively, it is helping us to work upon negative parts of our culture, like excessive patriarchy in our society. It is reducing these days. And negatively, I would say that it is creating a commoditization of our culture. We are also becoming a lot influenced by the Western culture and trying to undermine our own culture.
Okay. So in present days, in scenario, we always just talk about digital India, like self-independent India, Atmanirbhar Bharat. Don't you think that it's also affecting our eating habit, that means if we are involving in digitally very much, so it will affect our phones if we are using laptop, like televisions. So meanwhile, it's also affecting our eating habits very much. Social.
Definitely, ma'am. Too much of screen time definitely impacts our mind, our eating habits. It impacts our way of life.
How?
Too much of screen time detaches us from the basic family values that we have. We get more involved in eating more of. We get attracted towards eating fast food, looking at the fast food through various fast food delivery apps. We are getting it easily at our homes. So it is definitely, we are trying to get a easy way out of the cooking and trying to eat fast food.
Okay, suppose that you are selected. Okay, so what will be your first step for, just if you would like, if you have having authority to change something in society, or so what it will be?
The first step that I would take to bring a change would be in education system, if
Why?
I could, because that is the basis of every other change that we could bring in the society.
So which kind of changes you would like to be?
Ma'am, our basic education, the primary education, has a lot of problems nowadays, such as the teachers are usually absent, the students, the girl child are not sent to schools because of lack of toilets or certain other factors. I would like to change these.
Okay, thank you.
We were answering the question for man, that man is governed by society, right? But if I would say that man is governed by technology now, and society is governed by politics, what is your say?
So technology has definitely impacted the way of our life, and we can't say that man is completely governed by technology. We are using technology in the way we want. Definitely the society, the ethos we have, the cultural ethos, the social ethos we have, it defines the way we use technology. For example, television is being used to propagate religious, cultural ideas around the world.
But as a student of sociology, you should agree, or you must agree, that positive social paradigms must be protected.
Definitely.
What Parsons say, Alfred Parsons.
Sorry, sir, I am not able to recall it.
Okay, and society is governed by politics.
So politics definitely is a major part of the society. It definitely plays a major role in the society, but we can't say that society is only governed by politics. Definitely, politics plays a major part in governing the society.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
Quite good.
Thank you, sir.
Everything is fine. Good communication.
Thank you, sir.
थोड़ा सा स्माइल करो ना, मैंने लिखा है इसमें, be slightly more cheerful. Your answer is very good.
Did you appear in any exam earlier also?
So not in interview yet. First interview.
First interview. You appeared in the PCS examination earlier also?
सर एक और मेंस दिया है सर.
एक और मेंस दिया था. अच्छा.
एक इंटरव्यू पहला होगा.
पहला इंटरव्यू.
कब है इंटरव्यू?
सर 20th को ही, 20 तारीख को.
आईएएस वगैरह भी दिया था.
Now you are smiling.
आईएएस वगैरह भी दिया था.
सर एक मेंस लिखा था आईएएस का.
एक मेंस का वो इंटरव्यू
सर 2019 में दिया था.
अच्छा दिया था.
ओवरऑल थोड़ा सा फैक्ट बेस देख लेना यूपी का. फैक्चुअल चीजें देख लेना, दे मे आस्क सम डेटा फिगर्स, है ना, बाकी ऐसे ओवरऑल इट्स क्वाइट गुड।
A little bit of smile on
हाँ,
my face.
थोड़ा सा चल, अभी जैसे वैसे
और क्या, थोड़ा सा स्माइलिंग रहेंगे, बनाना रहेगा, उससे आपको लगेगा कि आप वो है, फ्री है। या तो सोचेंगे आप नर्वस है,
ऐसे लग रहा है कि यार स्ट्रेस्ड,
Correct.
ऐसे कोई दिक्कत नहीं, बी चेयरफुल।
थोड़ा स्ट्रेस हो जा रहा है सर,
नहीं वो तो ठीक है,
सोच के आए थे अंदर से कि स्माइल करेंगे बाहर से, मगर यहाँ
वो
स्ट्रेस
होता है, लेकिन स्टिल ट्राई योर लेवल बेस्ट।
नर्वस मत होइए। इलाहाबादी में रहते हैं, कहाँ रहते हैं इस समय, कहाँ से आ रहे हैं आप?
सर लखनऊ से आ रहे हैं।
लखनऊ से आ रहे हैं, और रहते हैं इलाहाबाद में, कोचिंग के लिए आए हैं क्या जैसे?
नहीं सर, सिर्फ ऑप्शनल की 2018 में जब कॉलेज में थे तभी दिल्ली में ली थी कोचिंग सर।
अच्छा अच्छा,
तो 2 दिन के बाद इंटरव्यू ही है।
जी सर।
तो बहुत
ठीक
ज़्यादा
है।
कुछ करना ही चाहिए।
चलिए, बेस्ट
All
ऑफ
the
लक।
best.
पेपर पर पढ़ लीजिएगा, लेटेस्ट जो है करंट अफेयर जो है, कभी कभी न्यूज़पेपर से पूछ लेते हैं। ठीक
ठीक है।
ठीक है सर। सर एक चीज़ को पूछना था हमें, सर जो ट्रैवलिंग हॉबी बताया हमने, सर उसमें कुछ लोग मतलब एक और हमने मॉक दिया था, तो उसमें वो मतलब ट्रैवलिंग के ऊपर ही ज़्यादा क्वेश्चन फिर वो पूछने लगे कि ये
टेक्नोलॉजी की जरूरत नहीं, एक आध ट्रैवलॉग देख लो किसी का, पढ़ लो, तो कोई भी
Especially in from Gorakhpur you are belonging ना, तो जब आप गोरखपुर मेंशन करेंगे तो मे बी जो
नेपाल
मेरे
बगल ही में नेपाल है, काठमांडू है।
वो पक्का पूछेंगे, गोरखपुर नेपाल
थोड़ा बहुत
काठमांडू।
देख लो, अगर तो टाइम नहीं।
काठमांडू है, गौतम बुद्ध का कह सकते हैं साहब, श्रावस्ती गए थे, वहाँ पे कपिलवस्तु देख आए हम, और लुम्बिनी देख आए हैं ना।
और अपने
कुशीनगर
पॉइंट ऑफ
है,
व्यू से
कुशीनगर
कोई
गए,
ट्रैवलिंग करने
तीन
आ
जगह
रहा
तो
है
है
तो
वहाँ।
हाउ विल यू
हाँ।
सजेस्ट कि कैसे वो ट्रैवल करे, क्या
श्रावस्ती
करे,
के
तो
पास
मे भी
क्या है
क्वेश्चंस
ना,
आते हैं।
कपिलवस्तु
है,
कपिलवस्तु है, लुम्बिनी है, कुशीनगर है,
कपिलवस्तु तो वहाँ पैदा, लुम्बिनी में पैदा हुए हैं नेपाल में, कपिलवस्तु में जो है उनका
संत
राज्य
कबीर नगर
था।
है।
जी सर।
और वो आपका वहाँ पे कुशीनगर में उनकी देहांत हुई।
आंसर ठीक दिया था कि बिकॉज ऑफ दी
और 2 जगह हो सकता पूछे, और 2 जगह गौतम बुद्ध का इंपॉर्टेंट पूछे तो एक सारनाथ है, फर्स्ट सरमन दिया उन्होंने 5 लोगों को, और बोध गया में जो है उनको एनलाइटनमेंट मिला।
1-2 पॉपुलर ट्रैवलॉग्स देख लो
ठीक है
इसका, बस, और ज्यादा कुछ कर दीजिए। अगर बहुत टेक्निकल पूछा जाता है इससे,
वो बहुत अच्छा है आंसर दिया, आपके एकेडमिक रीजन के कारण हम ट्रैवल नहीं कर रहे थे, तो वेरी गुड आंसर।
बाकी करना, सॉरी सर, वही आंसर देना, एकेडमिक कंस्ट्रेंट्स की वजह से आई कुड नॉट परस्यू इट,
करेक्ट।
है ना, और कुछ नहीं।
और पूछे कि सर्विस में रह के कैसे ट्रैवल, सर आई विल बी गेटिंग द LTC, on the basis of LTC sir I'll try to manage my travel. 2-3 years I can always travel, even if I am selected and I am serving as an officer. ठीक है,
ठीक है, चलो,
थैंक यू, ऑल द बेस्ट।
फादर ग्रैंडफादर को कहिएगा कि बादल चैटर्जी से मुलाकात हुई, हमको गोरखपुर में हर बच्चा जानता है, योगी भी जानता है,
जानते होंगे मेरे पेरेंट्स भी।
पूछिएगा। मिति आता मैं नंबर 1, I was additional district magistrate city, I was the household name there। मैंने बीरेंद्र प्रताप शाही को बंद किया, योगी जी को बंद करके रखता था, योगी जी को बंद करके। अभी तो इलाहाबाद में आए थे, ऐसे नमस्कार किया, अच्छा आप इलाहाबाद में बद्दी विशाल टंडन जी के घर में, वो हम जा नहीं रहे थे, बहुत बोला तो मैं गया, तो देखा इलाहाबाद में।
नाउ यू कैन लीव।
हमारे सामने कानून चलाई हुई थी ना।
ऑल द बेस्ट।
ऑल द बेस्ट।